Hi Leos, and hope everything is going well. So let's jump in the reading right away. Let's reverse certain things over here just to mess things up a little bit. So guys, I'm not going to anymore ask please like, share, subscribe, and instead, if you find that messages that you received through my readings and to my downloads are resonating with you, then consider subscribing because they are meant for you. So look at this. I have Sky King and I have Nine of Earth. You guys are feeling very comfortable at this stage. You are feeling that your thinking is clear, and you're also feeling comfortable in where you are. You feel accomplished, and you feel that you're coming from the position of strength where you can express your thoughts and belief, and where you're valued and where you're respected. And this is really awesome. I really like Sky King. Sky King is maybe a little bit, let's say, quiet, but when he speaks, everybody listens. So it's kind of like, you know, these people who kind of you really think through when they have to say something, and somebody who is going to be honest to a fault, even if something is really going against the grain for their own kind of like fortunes. So let's see where we go here. So we see Fire Kitten reversed, and this might as well be you guys. We are seeing basically a kitty, so that will be a Page of Wands, burning its own tail with being mesmerized with something. So I guess caution, don't play with the freaking matches and don't play with fire over here. But let's see where this takes us. But look at this, there's an upgrade. It almost looks like you're learning the lesson. Maybe there was like a situation that you got involved in a relationship or some kind of like sort of that, and he's also burning his tail over here, but he's getting more skilled. And this is like we are seeing this progression over here for something inept, something that maybe cost you, to now like, I mean, there is a skill to be gained. It almost like tells me it has been something that you burn yourself, but in a sense it almost was God-given, if you wish, where you have received something, a gift of some sort. Maybe a gift of how to handle that situation, maybe a gift of being free, maybe gift of, hey, you know, I'm kind of like getting some additional things. I really like Fire Tom. Fire Tom is like a huge energy with your fire energy. This is like something that really moves things forward. So that is going to be highly beneficial for you. The base is Sea King, so yet we have another king. So this king is also very quiet, very much like Sky King, except this one is like more dealing in realm of emotions. He kind of like is not judgmental, while Sky King is very judgmental, but his judgment and its analytics are coming through the position of need to be fair. This one is not concerned about fairness as much as I don't want you to hurt, right? So we usually connect more with Sea King, even though Sky King might actually take us further, because this is usually when we really need somebody to pick us up. So it's a nice and soft place to fall. It could mean that there's like somebody coming in your life who has this softness, who has this ability to be gentle and kind with you. Oh, we have consequences here in the past, or judgment. This is one of my karma cards. You guys have been dealing through something and resolve something. This is a really good card in this position, which means you're kind of like moving forward, and it's showing this kind of like progression, that you're taking different things from different elements. We had air, we have water, and we have fire here. So come on, we need to have earth a little bit as well showing up. And then we have a Five of Sky. And it's a little story behind this card, right? In this particular deck, you know, Sky is the clan of cats that are misfits, that don't belong, that you are not as beautiful, as tall, as gorgeous, as smart, as educated, as rich, you know, fill in the blanks. So these cats ended up themselves starving on the streets and trying to eat from the scraps, and working their way through it and surviving. And they're very proud about the skills they have obtained in the meantime. They're very skillful, they're very able and they're very fierce as a result of it, basically of rather harsh kind of like life that they has been bestowed upon them. So they see anybody, let's say like this Sphinx cat. Fun fact, it's a Canadian cat, has no hair, and has a really soft soft skin that almost like feels like hair. So they see this as intrusion, and that's a negative part of these sky cats. Even though they're very fierce, they're capable of doing it and even writing a little graffiti, as you can tell. They still, funny enough, cannot absorb and cannot take that, hey, you know, we as well can be composed and peaceful and beautiful. Or maybe they're not understanding the beauty in a way that, let's say, the other cats would. So it's very interesting. In the other deck, sky or air was connected to Siamese cats, who are kind of like really thinking through things quite a bit with a higher level of intelligence. So this is really telling me that positioning is really needed over here, right? Maybe maybe you win something, but you need to ask yourself, wait a minute, am I fighting the right battle? And is this winning really winning, or this is something that is basically just ridiculous? So this is kind of like conscious coming through the surface and asking you to kind of like reassemble certain things, because just recently, very recently, you have been dealing with somebody or something, and consequences is connecting to Venus, to Libra, to beauty, right? But it's also connecting to fairness and to kind of like rebalancing that scale, if you wish. Kind of very, very important that you need to take what you need, not what you want, right? And kind of like take it with you. So it's also learning here to find beauty and to expand yourself. So don't feel constrained. And we have a Sky Queen. We had a Sky King and we have a Sky Queen. She's equally very similar energy. Very, very similar, except this is universal, it's karmic, and this is kind of like human. This is somebody who's been through thick and thin. You might have, I don't know, somebody water sign, or somebody fire sign, or somebody air sign coming through. Except the water sign and air sign would be really good for you. If you're a man, it could be air. If you're a woman, it could be water as well. So this could be a woman who, just like this is a soft man who is going to really feel you emotionally. This is a woman who will understand you, who has been through quite a few ordeals herself, and at this stage she is, I don't know, possibly very choosy, or maybe really reluctant or hesitant. Sky Queen is kind of like, usually people say, well, you know, she has this big sword because she can cut you off in a freaking minute, so no messing with this chick. And she can as well be the Sphinx cat, so keep that in mind. That could be that exalted position, or somebody, or maybe you're placing somebody in that position. Whoa, and there you are. Oh my gosh, look at it, the Sky King that kind of like popped out. It's actually coming here in a combination. So there is somebody coming in your life who might make a good natural fit. So keep in mind that air is a little bit higher than fire. Well, some teachers would disagree with me. I am kind of like really clear on this, because fire can go just a certain level, and then you just have air, and then you don't even have air anymore. So Sky King again is kind of like a good counterpart here. It's the meeting of the minds, and that is like really something that is coming across, and it's something that you want. You're kind of like feeling that you need connection with someone. Well, you know, do you want to build a house? And the other person says, nah, I really want to travel the world. So okay, so spending money and making money kind of like is going to come into that. When you come to this kind of like sky clan, you see these dudes over here did overcome all of these kind of like street kind of like fights and everything, and now they are understanding, look, you know, I have all these scars on me, I do, but I'm actually good where I am. They're also fiercely independent, so it's really telling me also that you are very fiercely independent this month, and there's like no beating around the bush with you at this stage. You're very focused, you're kind of like very streamlined, and you know where you are heading and what you want. Your environment, wow, you are all over the place. Let me put it this way. Like, did you ever play with the sealed bubbles? Like, they're so much fun, and then you touch them and they go pff, right? So they're not really real. They are kind of like just real in a moment of time. So that almost like tells me there's like a thought. You have a thought, you have an idea, or maybe people are coming to you with different ideas and different things. So it's going to be lots of activities. Do not get wooed into that, because they might not be grounded properly. So I guess it's a little bit more needed about that, right? Because keeping in mind that you have to figure out certain things, what makes sense. And clearly this is water, this is air. It's almost like this, look at air. It's kind of like a blockage, but the water is reminding you that, hey, don't forget the emotional things. Like, it's really good to kind of have this, but don't be one-sided. I guess that's what I want to see here, because they're like, when water and air are both included, they almost like don't have impact on each other. So what is in between? You're in between. So it is really telling you it could be almost like a polarizing of some sort for you, and it is warning you like not to get sidetracked with petty fights, with too many things at the same time, because this is also a card of dreamers, but it's also a card of illusions. So you have to ask yourself, are you attracted to dreamers and people who have all these ideas but they cannot ground them? Or are you attracted to people, or your environment with people where there are lots of fights and you don't even understand what the fights are all about? You are kind of like raising yourself about that, right? And you're kind of like wiggling through it and just trying to find your path. Hopes and fears, well, we have a sea tom. So we had the fire tom, we have a sea tom, we have a sea king. This is really lovely. You kind of like, guys, look at all the figures that you have. Figure. Going to be lots of people around you in this Aquarius transition. It really doesn't surprise me very much. Aquarius and Leos are on the same axis. It's almost like they're twins, right? They just kind of like are representing different aspects of our life that we need to work on, but like clearly we are twins. So sea tom is about romance. It's about romantic. Somebody's coming in your life who is really triggering certain things in you. You're really feeling comfortable with this. You're feeling playful. You kind of like want to do things. You want to woo someone. It might be poems. It could be writing essays. It could be creativity of some sort. But clearly that can be a romantic partner coming your way, and you are both hoping and you're both fearing, because again, you're not sure where this is going to take you, and almost like your rational mind is telling you, I need to focus, how do I go about that? Oh my God. And you're getting stars. As I remember, I told you Aquarius and Leo, the same axis. So this is Aquarius, this is Leo, looking at each other, right? So this is about aspiration and where do you want to be. In Aquarius reading, this card also came through, and I gave a really detailed explanation of this card. And I really could talk, and I have to cut down these readings because my voice is still kind of weak. But this is about, look, you need to focus to where you're heading. You need to follow your star. You guys are going to be very much air. I really think the air is going to prevail, but you are not going to neglect your heart. You're not going to neglect that there are also feelings. So it almost looks like you're going to have ideas and feelings that somehow are going to either mesh together, or they're going to run kind of like in a parallel, kind of like symphony. Hello! Did my little mini lion, who was born in the sign of Aquarius, whose birthday is coming up, you want to say something to Leos? Huh? What do you want to say? I want to check and I want to clarify that Five of Sky, because that kind of like, it feels there's like some kind of like burden or fear of conflict or some kind of like issues that currently I feel you need to resolve. So I want to see what comes underneath as a clarification to this. And you have sides, lovers, and foe. I don't know, you guys might have two people wooing for you, and one person could be very, let's call it backstabbing, right? So it's not a good thing. It could be a female, right? That this is like really happening through it. And there's like some other person who might have a little bit of sadness. It could be a long distance relationship. It could be somebody who, I guess, look at her. She is leaning on this bench, the roses down, and there's a letter, but ship has sailed. So she's clearly sad. There's like kind of like sides card over here. But another clue that I see here is the tree and this bench. They're like really, really firm. That she needs to understand that she can rely upon someone. So is that you who need to understand that somebody is doable, and viable, rather to say? Or is it that the other person has to understand it? It almost looks to me, because look, we are talking about this conflict, the situation, and acceptance. So who is the creator of the conflict? Is it you who is creating the conflict, or is it the situation that is somehow not well suited? Somebody, I really have to tell you, is really clueless in the situation, and just as I said, these kitty cats are not understanding that there are like different ways of going. So be very careful, because it almost looks to me that you're really clear. There's a really clarity of there's a couple here going on. But there is also somebody who is undermining the situation. So it could be either psychic intrusions, which means, you're trying to build something with somebody because they're like so, like an enormous potential over here. Or on the other hand, that somebody is continuously gossiping about somebody. They are inventing certain things. They are trying to undermine certain things. And this is like almost like under cover of the night. So just be very careful of the night messages and things that come through. So Leos, this is a part 1 of the reading. Part 2 is going to be a link somewhere here when I finish. And it's going to be literally to funnel through more, because I'm going to have few options. I'm going to say pick your own basically pile, because it's going to get you through more and get something that is very specific to you, where you get to pick it, not me. But clearly this reading means that you really need to focus who you want, how you want, and you need to remove the noise that may be coming. But clearly you're going to be in the mood for love, and just it's going to be good to be you this month. So just enjoy it. All the best, guys. And also another thing that I want to say, friends might become lovers, and I see strongly Libra and Aquarius over here positioned. So you know that I love you. Namaste, and don't forget to see the part 2. Okay, love you.